I felt like I was out of control, yet I remembered that I can stop myself at any time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I stopped myself, and then as soon as I stopped, I went down into, it seemed like through the clouds, down to another place, seemed like the past.
All right,
And
and?
I saw this gentleman that had a blue outfit, like a hat, and seemed like some kind of general or
Yes.
official.
And your question is?
My question is, what was all that about?
You are reconnecting to other aspects of your total consciousness by knowing that the barriers between you seemingly that exist don't really exist, and that when you are on the certain vibratory level, those barriers between space, time, past, present, and future can all dissolve to allow you more connection to other aspects of your consciousness and other beings on other levels.
Okay. Have I made agreements to channel? Because I seem
There
like
are different forms of channeling. In what way would you prefer to express the idea?
When I write, I feel like I'm channeling.
Then I guess you made an agreement, didn't you?
Okay. All right.
If it feels that way, you have made the agreement. The agreement, understand, does not necessarily have to be made prior to the life. You can make the agreement at any time. Do you wish to make such an agreement? Then an agreement is made. Remember, you all do make appointments. Whether you have laid some of them out prior to the life or not does not matter. Any appointments and any agreements you have made will not be missed, with one exception. If you worry that you will miss the appointment, you will miss the appointment. If you don't worry you will miss the appointment, you never will. Make sense? So if that is your agreement, if that is your desire, if that is the way you prefer to express yourself in that state that you call channeling, then the agreement is made whether now or then doesn't matter, since all time is an illusion anyway. And that is part of the point.
Thank you.
Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. One moment. Do bright yellow flowers play any specific part in your relationship with the deceased? You may find at some time when you are in a certain state where you are receptive that an image or a feeling, or even synchronistically physically, bright yellow flowers will make themselves apparent to you in a seemingly unusual way. That will be a sign of contact and communication from the spirit. Do you understand? All right? And pleasant dreams to you.
Thank you very much.
And
Hi, Bashar.
to you, good day.
Well, I have a few questions in my mind.
Speak up, speak up.
I have a few questions in my mind that I've been thinking about today.
Yes.
And actually before, but
All right.
I'll start off with the first question is, how do we determine or what really happens to us as human beings when we leave our physical form, when we actually die? And
you become more of who you actually are. You wake up in much the same way that you as a physical being wake up from a dream and go, oh, that seemed very real while I was dreaming it, but now that I'm awake, I know this is who I really am.
well,
It's very much like that. Physical reality suddenly seems like a dream you're waking up from, and this is who you really are.
do we retain our consciousness?
You do, because everything is conscious.
Do we retain our memories?
You do. And actually, you have more access to more of them.
Do we reappear in another physical form?
You can, but it's not a reappearance. Remember, all things exist simultaneously. There is no such thing exactly, literally, as reincarnation. It is multiple simultaneous incarnations all existing at the same time. So you are always you. You never become another version. Another version, another life is them. But you both coexist and are connected to the same, what might euphemistically be called, oversoul. Each of those lives is a simultaneously coexisting extension of the same oversoul. You are one extension, Another life is another extension, and both lives exist as discrete and distinct persons coexisting at the same time with their own experience of themselves as the you that you are talking about. Each person, no matter how much they expand, always experiences the expansion as themselves. So even if someone were to become the idea of all that is, they would experience the idea of blending with all that is as themselves, being all that is. And that's the same for every one of you.
So how can we remember if we are, say, right now, physically, me being here, how do I know that I haven't existed in the past? Or why can I remember my past existence or my past parallel universe?
All right, now again, you're speaking linearly. When you make a connection to another life, it isn't actually that it's your past life. You are cross-connecting to that life for a particular reason from the present. You're cross-connecting and have so-called memories because the connection brings the information from that life in a way that you need it to apply it in this life, even as you're doing the same for them, and they are bringing memories and experiences from your life to their life simultaneously, from what they might call a future life, but that's an illusion. But you're creating that connection now, from here. So anything that you find most attractive, that you're most magnetized to in terms of that kind of historical era, so to speak, there might be an indication there that you are making that connection for a reason, and that's why you're attracted to wonder about that particular so-called past or future life. But they all exist at the same time.
I understand that.
It's not really a past life.
I'm just trying to think, like, how can I...
You're getting that information all the time. You don't always need to know where it's coming from, and sometimes knowing actually slows you down. It's just that sometimes when you have an inspiration that might be based on an experience that another life is having, but you don't need to know that because knowing that would be too much information for you to use the experience. The point is you just need to use that information and not have to stop and go, gee, I wonder where that comes from and what that person's life is all about, and then by then you will have forgotten what the information was. So when you need to know it, you'll know it. But many times you have that information cross-connecting and leaking, so to speak, from life to life without necessarily knowing that a random thought you had may in fact be coming from an experience in another life.
My other curiosity is that our human species, if we are evolving...
You are.
Then we are going to eventually change into another form. I mean, like for yourself, if you're... I mean, I don't know what kind of form...
To some degree, you are. You're going to remain somewhat human in the sense of your continued human evolution, but at the same time, when you move on, so to speak, you will find that you may not necessarily feel like being human anymore. But it's up to you.
So what is the other choice when you say not being human? Is that another physical form, or is it
It
just
can be. But again,
a
remember,
cellular
all
form?
these things are happening simultaneously. Although you can create the experience that you are choosing this linearly. And that's what you're actually referring to. What kind of an experience can I have in terms of choosing another kind of physical experience? And you can do that if you wish. You can become something similar to human. You become completely non-human in terms of physical beings that exist within the cosmos. Or you can remain, so to speak, as energy, as spirit, as consciousness, a higher dimensional being, a trans-dimensional being, a trans-temporal being. You can become many different kinds of consciousness expression.
And when you say follow your highest excitement,
Yes.
and to me, my highest excitement is raising my vibration or being extremely consciously aware of myself, my
Yes.
physical being,
Yes.
my
Yes.
to where I can accelerate this whole process and skip all
There
this
is no skipping.
this
There is no skipping by your own choice. I will tell you a secret. It's really this simple. Will you do us a favor?
yeah.
Lie down on the floor. Lie down on the floor.
What, belly down?
On your back, if you wish.
Okay.
Lie down on the floor right now.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Tell me when you're comfortable. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
All right. Close your eyes. Are your eyes closed?
Yes.
All right, now repeat after me. I am done with this life. I am ready to leave.
I am done with this life. I am ready to leave.
All right, now just hold and breathe for just a few seconds. All right, now, can you open your eyes?
Yes.
Then you're not done. You may stand up.
Okay.
This is what we are saying. You have planned this out according to your own reasons and your own choices and your own experiences for your own exploration of the themes you wish to explore. And if you were actually done, you would be gone. And it would be that simple. You would say, I'm done. I would lie down, close my eyes, I'm gone, and you would be gone. You would not be able to wake up. If you can wake up, you're not done. Because you would leave if you were really done.
Why do we have that? Why can't we not have that choice if we are God within ourselves?
It is a choice. That's what you're missing. You made the choice to continue to explore something. That's why you opened your eyes and stood up. Because you made a choice to explore something that requires a little more time. And that's part of your acceleration in the way you chose to have it.
So in other words, I have to leave.
Don't have to.
Or my
This is
choice
what you chose.
But my choice will, if I do take that choice, and
Yes.
then I'm not able to open my eyes back up again then.
Correct. But the point is if you are able to open your eyes up, then you must have already chosen to incorporate the idea of your acceleration by further activity in physical reality, and that's the way you actually wanted to do it. Otherwise, you would have left. It really is that simple. Even when someone dies physically, you are actually still given a choice to continue the physical life. Many of you have actually died, but have chosen to continue to live that physical life. Sometimes you don't know it, you don't remember it because it doesn't serve you to remember that moment of choice. Sometimes you create for yourself the idea of what you call a close call.
Right.
Ooh, I don't know how I got out of that alive. But I seemingly did. Well, the truth is you may not have. You may have actually died. But then the guides may have said, are you sure you really want to go on? Or did you want to continue the life in a parallel reality to make it seem as if you want to explore something in that life that's still going on, but you know it's a parallel reality? And you said yes. So then you will simply wake up and go, wow, that was a close one. Maybe not even remembering that you actually died and were given a choice to go on or come back. So the point is you're always in control of what's going on. So if you are still here, if you can still open your eyes, you must have made a choice that says that continuing to experience this physical reality in the way you're experiencing it is actually part of the way you wanted to evolve. There's something that's going to happen that will add to you in a way that simply going into the non-physical won't give you. Otherwise, you would leave. There is something here you're excited about doing, otherwise you would leave. Because it actually is that easy. All right? You have to learn to trust that. You have to learn that there will be surprises, and if you leave now, they won't happen. And when you get there, you'll go, oh, shucks. I was going to surprise myself, and now I have forced myself to leave, and now I won't have that surprise I wanted, so I guess now I'll do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Or not. It's all up to you. But the point is if you're here, you want to be. Even though you don't know it. You want to be. You have to trust that your life will show you what it is you wanted to be here for. And it will.
Very interesting. The last question I want to ask is, how can we, or how can an individual be through vibration, higher vibration, able to see the existence that are in the universe as far as other higher intelligent life? Is there a way of actually maybe seeing in a dream state, or any way of actually communicating?
Yeah, well, you're communicating with another entity right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I mean, but I don't know. Sometimes you get confused of your realities of what's really.
It's all real. It's all real. There is nothing that you can imagine that isn't on some level real. You can't imagine non-existence. It may not be relevant to your particular dimension, but anything you can imagine exists somewhere as a reality, or you couldn't imagine it. The point is simply connect to what you prefer, connect to what works for you, use what works. It's all real in its own way.
Yes, okay.
But the idea is, as we say, keep it simple. When you continue to act on your highest excitement, and when we talk about that, we actually mean physically doing things that are representative of your joy. Expressing it truly physically, because you are experiencing yourself as a physical being. Therefore, just the mental exercises are not enough. The idea is that you have to ground the circuit in order for the energy to flow through and manifest the expression. For those that simply remain in their heads, there is no completion of a circuit. The idea is to ground it through true physical action and to express the idea in some physical way so that you're grounding the circuit. Thus then, as you do that and as you act on your excitement in that physical way, you are upping your vibration. You are accelerating. There goes another train. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your timelessness. And it's really not so much about time as it is about timing.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
I have a question about my physical pain.
Your physical pain.
Yes.
Describe.
Okay. So I have this lower back pain from getting a massage a few months ago.
From getting a massage?
Yes. Well,
Did
yes.
the masseuse not like you?
I don't think she didn't. But anyways.
Yes.
It was an accident.
Well, there are no accidents.
Okay.
Why did you attract yourself to this experience?
That I am not quite sure of
Oh,
at
all
this
right.
point.
How does it serve you to be having this experience? And by serve you, what I mean is, what does it thus then, by having this experience, force you to think about and face and consider that otherwise you would not have done?
Right. So,
Yes.
because it limits me in doing what I would like to do,
Which is?
it's healing.
You would like to be a healer.
Well,
Are
think
you
I
a
am.
healer?
Yes.
Oh, all right. So why would you attract an experience of limitation in this way? How does it serve you? What are you learning from it that you can apply to the idea of your healing?
Yes. Well, that's where I would like some of your help.
Well, we're working on it.
Okay.
But the idea is by asking these questions,
Yes.
it gives you an opportunity to examine this from a certain perspective you may not have thought of. So, how does imposing what you perceive to be a limitation on yourself actually help you in your healing? Is it a limitation?
I get to experience
Yes.
the emotional pain and
Does that mean it makes you
discomfort.
more empathic to others going through the same thing?
Yes.
Do you feel like you needed this or not?
To some extent, but not this prolonged way.
Not this way.
Yes.
I see. All right. Can you redefine this as something other than a limitation?
Other than a limitation.
Yes. Can you define pain as something other than a limitation?
Okay. Maybe a possible way to figure out my beliefs that are not working for me.
And what beliefs might those be? Are you aware of any beliefs that are not working for you, that you are holding on to but don't want to?
That's what I'm not quite sure of.
You're not, are you sure?
I'm sure I'm not. Well, I have some questions here and there, but...
Yes, what are the questions that you
Okay.
have here and there that are a pain in the you-know-what
Okay.
to you? What is the back all about?
The back is about,
Support.
yes, support.
So in what way do you believe you may not be being supported?
In what way?
Yes. How did the idea of calling attention to the area on your body in a negative way that is representative of support bring to your attention a belief that you may have in lack of support?
Okay. I guess.
May I ask you a personal question?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Do you feel that in your healing you are not doing enough?
Yes.
Why? You feel you're coming up short?
I do with some
Why?
people.
Why do you feel that? Why do you believe that?
I probably am wishing that I could get them better faster.
Why? Do you not trust that they actually get what they come to you for? While you're pondering that, let me pose an illustration.
Yes.
There may be individuals, I'm not saying this is specifically the case, I'm just giving you an illustration to illustrate a point.
Yes.
There may be individuals who wish to prove they cannot be healed. So they will attract themselves to a healer and thus not be healed, so they get a chance to say, see, I told you so. Nobody can fix me, not even the great healer. Thus then, a true healer will know that by allowing that person to not be healed, they have served what that person actually went to them for. Thus, they have actually done their job.
Oh, okay.
Do you follow?
Yes.
If you drop the expectation that you're supposed to do better and just know that you are perfect as you are no matter how it comes out, you will start to relax and not feel so much tension in that area, which is what was brought to your attention by the massage. You're carrying too much stress in that area, thus it was easily damaged, easily pushed out of balance because you are stressed over the fact that you're not doing enough as a healer, that you're not supporting. But you are. You have to allow unconditionally everyone to get out of your healing what it is they wish to get out of it. And remember that a healer doesn't heal directly. A healer simply sets up a vibration in which the person to be healed may allow themselves to be immersed, and thus then picking up on that vibration, they may choose to match that vibration. And in matching that vibration, they heal themselves. The healer does no healing. So you can relax. You can relax and just give off the frequency of your joy that you wish to give off, knowing that whoever finds you for a reason and gets out of it whatever it is that was perfect for them to get out of it. And the more you relax about that and don't need to heal them, the more, paradoxically, you will allow them to reflect to you that they are healed.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Sure does.
Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it.
Okay.
That's where you get into a little bit of trouble.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
I know.
I can hear the wheels turning. I can even smell the smoke.
Yes. It's pretty loud.
Yes. You need to relax your analytical mind and trust that you are doing what you need to do. Just come from your heart. Know that everything is in balance, that you are a gift. You are a gift. And remember, once again, as we have said, there are no one-sided coins. If you have the head, there is a tail. If you have a gift, whatever it is, by definition, there must be someone to get something out of it who is waiting to receive your gift. For if there was no tail, there would be no head. If there was no one waiting to receive your unique gift, you wouldn't have that gift. You would have something else. So anyone that has something to share, you must know by definition there is someone in that reality waiting to receive the gift that you have to share. So just be yourself, and you will do the best you possibly can at sharing whatever the gift is that you have and that you are. Take a deep breath. Let it out. You are perfect as you are. Even though you will change, whatever you are right now is a perfect version of whatever you are right now. Just because you change doesn't mean, in a sense, you become more perfect. It just means you become different. Perfect. So don't try so hard to be perfect, because you already are for what you are, and if you wish to change, then change. But know that you will always still be perfect in a different way.
That's wonderful.
Does that take some of the weight off?
Oh, big time.
All right. How do you feel right now?
I feel much better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for lightening up on yourself. Remember, please, all of you, remember to take advantage of the synchronicities that exist and the signs that exist even in your own language. If you're really seeking enlightenment, many times all you need to do is just lighten up on yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
And?
Hello. Hello, Bashar.
Are you waiting for something?
I'm waiting for you.
Why?
I thought I'd give you a little time.
I have
Although
all
it's
the
an
time in eternity and no time at all. It is your time, and you may speak when you wish.
Thank you. You've been speaking about choices and the choices we make in the present moment.
Yes.
And I was wondering about what lineage means to you, what origin means to you. And I mean that also in terms of thinking about myself. I do healing-based work,
Yes.
Moxibustion-based work. And,
All right.
And
It means that you are honoring a certain vibration that creates a certain past from the present upon which you can draw energy and rely upon to guide you, but at the same time understanding that you're creating that past from the present choices you are making about who you prefer to be. Does that make sense to you?
That does make sense, yes.
All right.
But that past, when you talk about a lineage, that past also has other entities or other healers or other teachers and other beings.
Yes.
Which are who you're
But every time you change who you are, you change your past, and you change the versions of the beings that are part of that so-called past. Literally. There are multitudinous versions of many different beings. When you create from the present a particular past, you may interact with one version of those beings. But when you create from the present a different past, you may now be interacting with different versions of those beings. They are not the same people at all, even though they may appear to be. That's just an illusion of continuity. But they are the appropriate vibrational people who now represent the past, the lineage, the history that you have now created from the present, that you deem is appropriate to support whatever you are defining yourself to be in this moment. So the past is part of the present, but is created from it as well. I see. And changes from moment to moment as you redefine yourself in this moment. And is always the appropriate past to whatever present you have created, which also goes along with whatever the appropriate future is that also exists now. The more that you become consciously aware of the fact that you're doing all of this now and creating all of this from the present, the more you can also expand your awareness to be able to see the difference between the two if you wish to. So that sometimes when you truly change yourself enough, you can sort of maintain a little bit of a perspective of the old parallel reality past and allow a comparison to be made with the new parallel reality past that goes along with your new present. And you can have experiences like people walking up to you, looking at you, having a double take and going, I almost didn't recognize you. You don't look like the same person at all. Well, that's because you're not. And people all of a sudden remembering things completely differently than they did before. Oh, no, you didn't go there that day. I distinctly remember you went there this day, when you know the difference. But that's the new reality, showing you how concretely you've created a new past by creating a new present.
I see.
Does that help?
Yes, that does help. So when you talk about honoring the essence, say, of somebody who's your teacher, that essence itself is continually changing.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
There you get to honor all of it. All of the essence, and all forms, and all versions, and are honoring more of the totality and wholeness of being, of any particular aspect that you may have interacted with in your life, linearly.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
So there is more to honor
Right.
by bringing it all into the present, holographically. Make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thus then by bringing it into the present holistically, you are also honoring yourself while honoring the totality.
Yes.
Because you allow the totality thus then to honor you and support you more graciously in an attitude of gratitude, as you say. Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have another question.
Yes.
You were talking about, from a previous question, you were talking about not reincarnations, but
Multiple simultaneous incarnations.
Right, multiple simultaneous incarnations. And
Yes.
I was wondering about what in that world or world sort of worlds.
Yes.
What
in
is
the multiverse.
in the multi? Yeah. How does the role of what somebody does in one life, what somebody does, although time might be an illusion, what I do or what I offer to the world now, how does that affect perhaps when you have a reincarnation idea,
Yes.
what you sort of offer to the world now somehow influences the way you return. So when it becomes a simultaneous worldview, I was wondering how the way you live your life in the current moment and your seat of consciousness, how that plays a part in this multiplicity.
By understanding that everything is created in the present, you offer the world the effect of knowing more totality of itself so they can make whatever choices they want. They know they are free to choose anything when all experiences are equally valid across the board and can connect to anything they wish in a more conscious way without necessarily being limited to the idea of the linear perspective so much.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Actually.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I had a last question, which is if you have these multiple worlds, and if you think about paleontology and you have periods of extinction in the world,
Yes.
so those periods of extinction are simultaneously existent with periods of life, so to speak.
There are worlds on which there are not the extinctions that have happened in other parallel realities. All of these parallel realities coexist at the same time, and any variation and any version and any idea you can imagine is happening on one of these parallel realities. So in your reality, as you say, the reality you are creating now, you say there have been certain extinctions, but in another parallel reality there are not.
I see.
All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Our deepest appreciation to you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
It is a delight to be with you.
A delight?
A delight.
You are taking light away?
It's more light to be with you.
Thank you. And you as well. You are quite lightful.
I have a couple of questions. First one is,
Yes.
if everything, and I can see what you're saying, if everything exists simultaneously,
Yes.
and then creative acts
Yes.
are not bringing something from non-existence, which doesn't exist,
Correct.
into existence.
It is simply shifting your frequency and shifting you to be capable of experiencing that which already exists on another frequency bandwidth.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
Much like you simply change the channel on your television set to see another program. All the programs are there at the same time that you're watching any one of them, but if you want to see one specific one, you change the channel, you change the frequency, then you get another program and no longer can see the one you were watching, which is now seemingly invisible to you, but you know it's still there.
yes, and to me, that lightens the load
Yes.
from what we, as human beings, have adopted as a conditioned way of looking at
Yes.
the creative process, like you've got to create something from scratch.
Yes.
The truth is, you just need to move over to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. My second question is...
What you are creating is the unique experience you're having of it, not the thing itself. The experience is what's real, is what's the real creation, not the thing itself. Your relationship to it is the real creation, not the thing itself. Because the thing already exists.
Beautiful. So it's almost like you're shining a flashlight on that possibility.
Exactly. That flashlight being your consciousness.
Right. Beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I also have the question of, well, recently I was watching your event in LA, a recent event in LA, and you were talking about, I believe you were talking about the Gulf oil spill.
Yes.
And people taking action, and that it's our reality, it's our government, it's
Yes.
our...
You are your government.
Right.
Decide what to do. Decide what it represents. Decide whether you prefer to do it again.
Right.
And again and again.
Right. But what I noticed in
Yes.
that
Yes.
is that when you said that,
Yes.
it felt to me, and maybe this was just my interpretation, but it felt to me that it kind of went thud in the room.
Yes.
Because we have such a depth of conditioning
Yes.
that we have adopted
Yes.
or agreed to.
Yes.
Nobody did it to us.
Yes.
That says that underscores some concept of being powerless.
Yes.
And I just wondered if you have any insight about how that can be cracked open so that we can begin to
We will
own.
always test the waters to see what you are willing to do with the information we have given you. And what you are willing to do is our barometer for how ready you are for contact,
Yes.
not only with us, but with other aspects of yourself,
Right.
which is the point. So,
Well, I'll tell you.
clearing the waters, when it's understood that a willingness to clarify the muddied situation is tantamount to clearing your own waters of consciousness, you will be eager to act. But when you fear what you may find within the depths of your own consciousness, there will be inertia and hesitation to overcome in any outward act that symbolizes the idea of taking your power back. Because you are afraid of what that means because of your definitions of power. But when you truly begin to use the illusion of power, then you will no longer succumb to the power in that sense, as you see it. You have to use the power of the illusion, not fall under the illusion of power. Do you follow? So, when you see it as a projection, when you see it as an illusion, when you see it as a reflection, and you're not afraid to face what that symbolizes, then you will use the power of the illusion and you will act and you will clarify things. Long as you are afraid because you are under the illusion of power, you will hesitate to act on those things, and things will remain thick, clouded, muddy, dense, opaque. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
And my joy
Yes.
is to become aware and conscious of the conditioning that I have adopted or agreed to.
Yes. And how do you prefer to go about doing that in terms of your acting on your excitement? Because remember, the more you act on your excitement physically, as we said, in a grounded physical way, the more your excitement will bring to your attention through the synchronicities in your life anything you need to look at to integrate. So the more you follow your excitement, the more aware you will become of the negative ideas in your consciousness. Not less. More aware of the dark. Not less. Because all that is all light and all dark. So the more you expand, the more you become aware of the darkness. That doesn't mean you have to choose it. It doesn't mean it has to affect you in a negative way. But it has to be there in order for you to make a choice. So your excitement will automatically, by definition, bring to your attention any darkness that remains, any negative ideas or definitions that remain within you, it will amplify them and bring them to your attention so that you can work with them and integrate them. So anytime following your excitement brings you to that crossroad where you're forced to face something within yourself you may not prefer, your first and most positive and constructive response would be, "Oh joy! Thank you for bringing the darkness to my attention, because now I can turn the darkness into light." And when you use it that way, the darkness won't remain so dark. Remember that your yin-yang symbol contains dark and light as a polarity, but in the darkness is a little light, and in the light is a little darkness. You can always reach either from either side. So choose. They're all valid. It's all equal. It's all valid. The paradox is when you allow the dark choices to be equally valid to the light choices, then you will be able to choose what you prefer without invalidating something which, by definition, actually locks you to it. Remember, bless you, that the prison guard is as much a prisoner as the person in jail. Do you understand? So when it is all equal, everyone can choose, is free to choose, they are self-empowered to choose. Everyone can make the choices they prefer, because all choices, I guarantee you, I know this is going to sound strange to many of you, all choices that are made in life by every single individual are actually made out of an attempt to choose from love. But if they have not been taught the tools of love, the symbols of love, if they've been taught negative symbols to replace those symbols with, they still think they're choosing out of love even when they're not. But everyone's intention is to choose out of love. And when you know that and have enough compassion to see that, you will be able to allow people to know they are self-empowered to choose what they really prefer and not feel powerless, and thus then simply choose what they think they have to. Make sense?
Yes.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Why, thank you.
And then those who choose to remain in their definition of what might look...
All you can do is offer them the
disengage.
choice to see that there is another possible way to go. But you cannot choose for them, and you cannot be responsible for them. You can only be responsible to them, to be yourself, and provide an opportunity for another choice, but you cannot force them to take it, because if you're forcing someone to do something, then what you're actually saying is you don't actually believe in the power of that thing yourself. Make sense?
You mean the inherent power of that thing to compel them to make a choice on their own behalf?
Yes.
Yes.
Anytime you have to force your will on someone for a belief, you're actually saying you don't really believe it yourself. Otherwise, why would you have to force it on anyone if you believed it was really a powerful belief?
Right. And
You would trust that eventually, some way, shape, or form, somewhen, somehow, on some level, within all of eternity, they'll figure it out. There's no rush.
yeah.
Make sense?
Yes. And on the greater whole, in
Yes.
these ways that it may look, or
Yes.
that we may have
Defined it. Yes.
or adopted or agreed it upon a reality where someone, controls our choices or all that stuff.
Yes.
All we can do is become conscious of how we agreed or how we adopted,
Yes.
and then disengage and remove our support.
And when you do it from that position, you will see that no matter what anyone else's intention toward you may be, you, by responding positively to every situation in your life as if it is neutral first, will only extract the positive meaning that you put into the situation, regardless of anyone else's intention toward you.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you know the term meme?
Yes.
Yes. I personally love in group work
Yes.
to engage in uncovering for ourselves as a collaborative, joyful thing.
Yes.
What is it that we bought? What did we
Yes.
buy?
Yes.
And then energetically release that, become conscious of it, and energetically release that.
All right.
so that you
Whatever
can-
permission slip works best for you.
Yes.
Because that's all any tool or technique or ritual is just a permission slip you're giving to yourself to give yourself more permission to be who you are.
Yes.
That's all they are. They're just permission slips based on your belief system of what you believe will work at any given moment. But you're the one doing the work, not the thing itself.
Right. Oh, yes.
Yes.
And it's joyful to do
It
together.
is. Permission
you.
slips are fun.
Thank you.
And the more you know they are permission slips, the less you need them. The more you can simply give yourself permission without the tool, without the technique, without the reminder, without the ritual. But that's up to you. If you find the ritual fun, by all means, do it. But just understand, it is a permission slip. Thank you. There will be a brief amount of time remaining for this transmission.
Hi.
Andrew, good day.
When I first sat down, I looked over and saw the crystal that is to your left, the skull,
Yes.
and was drawn to go over to it.
All right.
And
Did you have a good time?
yeah, I did.
Oh, all right.
And
Are you still having a good time?
yes,
Oh, all right.
one of the things that happens is I easily engage and dialogue, and then
Yes.
I'm like, well, wait a minute,
Yes.
is this true? Is this really
Is it
happening?
true? Is it happening? Well, yes, it's happening. The question is not, is it true? The question is it true for you? Remember, you cannot imagine non-existence. Therefore, whatever it is you imagine is happening is real on some level. So if you wish to connect to that level and make it real for yourself as an effect in your life because you think that effect is applicable in some way, shape, or form, then it's real enough, it's true enough. So really all you need to ask is not, is it true enough? Is it true for me? Right now. Maybe tomorrow it won't be. Tomorrow it might not be true for you. But if it's true right now, then it's true. Does that work? Yes, no, maybe?
I mean, I'm confused actually by
Oh,
what you said,
congratulations.
but-
Confused. Confusion. Unlocking and disorienting from one belief system, reorienting to another, but you are still holding on to some old ideas.
Well,
It is similar to the idea that all pain is caused by resisting the natural self. Confusion is a close cousin to pain.
I guess, when
Yes. You guess or you know?
when I was standing there
Yes.
and I just said, how are you?
Yes.
And they said, we're delightful.
All right.
And I said, gosh, your energy feels very much like Bashar's.
All right. Stop right there and
Okay.
let us explain something very important to all of you. When you interact with us, and when you interact with permission slips such as the crystal skulls, and a variety of other permission slips, the big secret that is not a secret at all is you're actually talking to your own higher self. You are allowing us to mask, to skin your higher self in our energy to give you an excuse to let it be all right to talk to your higher self. That's what more of you are now beginning to sense. So when many of you ask a question now in your daily lives, you might suddenly hear us answering it, or the skull answering it, or something else answering it as if you knew what we would say. That is your own higher self using a mask to trick you into talking to it because so many of you refuse to do so. So all of these interactions, in a sense, are a mask to allow you to get used to the idea that who you have been communing with throughout this entire dialogue is always your own higher self through the mask we provide as a way for you to drop your barriers to communion with yourselves. So we thank you for allowing us to trick you in that way, but you've just been talking to yourself all along. That doesn't mean we're not involved. It simply means that you actually are beginning to sense that when you have these dialogues, you actually are communing with another aspect of your total being. And that's the point. So, no matter what technique you use, even if it is the idea you often now have in your society of what would so-and-so do, what would so-and-so say, that's a way of allowing you to access your own higher mind through a mask that gives you permission to do so, because of whatever beliefs you have within you that for some reason you can't just ask your own higher mind and believe that your higher mind is actually going to give you the answer you need. So if you need, in a sense, a proxy, through us, we are happy to be a proxy. Nevertheless, the truth is, you're still talking to your higher mind in all of these encounters.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question about, today you were talking about parallel universes and
Yes.
talking about...
And I was probably talking about parallel universes in a multitude of parallel universes.
And one of the things you touched on was that there comes a time when you start recognizing the shift between the parallel universes.
Yes.
And you start realizing that reality isn't something that we've been conditioned to believe. And so my question is more of asking you for advice on how to not get lost in integration, because sometimes I reach these higher states and I start seeing...
Do you have a belief that you can get lost? Why don't you find out why you have a belief that you can get lost instead of a belief that you will always know your way?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, is that too simple? Do you want it to be more complicated than that? I apologize. I know sometimes how much you humans love to complicate things because you often feel that it's not really worthwhile if it's not difficult. But it is that simple. Oh, there I go again. Can it be that simple for you to know that the only way you would feel lost is that you have a belief you can get lost? And if you actually find out that that belief doesn't serve you and is illogical for you to hold on to, you can replace it with a belief that says there's no way you can possibly get lost. And even in what may seem to be a moment of getting lost, that you're simply finding another portion of yourself. Remember, the only thing you will ever discover in the unknown is more of you. That's all that exists in the unknown, more of you. So how can you get lost when all you're ever going to find is more of you? And that you will be there saying, hello. What took you so long? Oh, I don't know. I was thinking I was lost. Oh, silly human. Tricks are for kids. I don't play tricks. I am your higher mind, and I always guide you unerringly. You don't have to trust it, but that's another game.
So,
yes.
Another part to that question is, when I'm integrating and experiencing some of the things that we've been talking about,
Yes.
I feel like I'm challenged with just living my day-to-day life of like food.
When you say, all of you, please understand, when you say, I feel, what you're saying is, I have a definition that allows me to feel this. You cannot have a feeling without a definition first. There is no such thing as having an emotional response if you don't already define something as being true. So if you have the feeling, own it, love it, accept it, acknowledge it, all well and good. But don't just stick with the idea that the feeling is justifying continuing to have the feeling. Just because you have a feeling doesn't mean that you have to continue to have that feeling. The feeling brings to your attention that you must have a definition that generates that feeling. So find out what the definition is and see if you want to perpetuate that definition. If you change it, you'll change the feeling. Because you cannot have a feeling without a definition. All thoughts, all actions, all behaviors, all feelings come from something you believe and define to be true first. Thus, that's how you use your behaviors and use your thoughts and use your feelings to trace back to what the definition must be in order to actually generate that feeling. Instead of just getting stuck in the idea that just because you're feeling something, you have to just keep feeling it as if that's justified unto itself. Make sense? Yes. So, catch yourself when you say, I feel, and stop yourself right there and say, all right, I have a feeling. That's good. That's all well and good. I acknowledge it. I own it, because you can't change what you don't own. Don't suppress it. Don't get rid of it. Don't ignore it. Own it. This is my beautiful feeling. But what does the feeling tell me? What must I believe is true in order to have this feeling? Find out what that definition is, and you, once identifying that definition, will reveal to yourself how that definition makes no sense for you to hold on to, and once you let it go, you will not have the same feeling. And if you continue to have the feeling, then you have yet another definition that is making it seem logical to continue to choose something you say you don't prefer. It's that simple. Really, it is. It's just physics. It's just energy. It's just vibration. It's just resonance. Is this making some sense?
Yes.
Is this helping you?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
I know you. Good day.
I just simply want to express my incredible gratitude for the information you express and how you give it off and how I've been able to integrate it within myself in a very, very powerful and positive way.
Thank you.
And
our gratitude to you as well for choosing to do so.
Thank you. And how as I move through my experience in my life, and I more and more how, I don't know how to express it, that, that I'm becoming more holistic
Yes.
with my higher self, my
Yes.
higher mind.
Yes.
But occasionally I feel like there's incredible synchronicity flowing through my experience, and it's at some point there's like a lull in the experience. And
Well, sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses, as you say.
Yes.
You have to absorb what you've learned.
Yes.
The idea of a roller coaster is that you don't just stay on the hill. You have to go down the hill to really get the thrill.
Okay. Yes.
Now remember, even though you may all feel that sometimes you're going like this, up and then there's a down, and up and there's a down, and there's a high and a lull, and a high and a lull, you're not really going like this. You're going like this.
Nice.
You're always rising.
Always
the
expanding.
lulls allow you to absorb what you learned on the high and apply it in physical reality so that you can increase the total energy of your experience and the next time reach an even higher high because you're always climbing.
Okay. Good. That's good to know. It's good to always know. I mean, I know that in my
This
experience.
is
Yes.
an illustration and case in point in the idea of truly allowing your imagination to be flexible enough to come up with these illustrations and definitions for yourself so that you can create and define your reality the way you really prefer to, instead of just settling for the idea that it's a low, it's a low, and I have to stick with that, I have to settle for that, I just have to accept it's a low.
Yeah.
Redefine it. Redefine low as high.
It's integration point.
And then see how high you can go from there.
Always higher. Always
which
expanding.
is what we just did. For as you see, even though there are highs and lows, the low is always higher than the last high.
Okay. Nice.
Ooh.
Ah.
Does this help?
Oh, it's incredibly helpful.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
we thought perhaps it would be credibly helpful, but there you go.
That's quite. Yeah, I think, that as, I'm going through in this expansion process and this incredible transformation time on this planet, as you say, just like I've had experiences of, incredible expansion.
Yes.
And, all the time. And it just seems like the next one just overtakes the last one.
Yes,
and overtakes the last one. And the last one.
And trust me, as far as we know, that will never end. Whether you are physical or not, it will never, ever end. Expansion is infinite.
Yes.
So have fun.
Oh, always.
Have fun forever.
Ever.
Unless you don't think you can handle it.
Oh, I can handle it. I'm just very, very excited for it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're done.
then we will at this point extend to each and every one of you our deepest appreciation at the allowance and co-creation of this transmission. We will continue a transmission later of your time, as you count time, dealing with the idea of crystalline portals within the infinite, and how the idea of the crystalline permission slip will allow you to further experience the acceleration you are already creating within your consciousness. So by all means, enjoy your refreshment break, and we will resume contact at that timing in a new now. Good day.